not serve God, but they want good results. You got to go through God to get blessed. And so this writer says that he was lawless. He was a tyrant. He was a disastrous person. And he is the one who initiated the building of the tower. Nimrod is a person regarded too as a silly and foolish and even stupid person. Oh, isn't that something? Have you ever dealt with silly people? Y'all know about silly people. You can't hardly talk to a silly person. Silly people will come up to you and ask you something and expect you to give them an answer that they can live with. If you go against it, that silly person will not call you anymore. And we have gotten people in the church that are silly. They cannot get anointed because they're silly. And these are the type of people, they want certain people to preach to them. They want certain people to, they don't get excited unless it's somebody that they think is big time. But God can use the smaller people. All right. I went through the stages that I would preach places, and because my name wasn't big, meaning the crowd wasn't big. And I get up there and I preach as hard as I could. But see, if you just stay with it, I learned you can't worry about people. You can't do that. You got to go on with the mission. And if ain't nobody following you now, they'll catch on later. Now, the spirit of Nimrod can be seen as one trying to make his own way to heaven. This is the spirit of Nimrod in the essence. You trying to make your own way to heaven. You got your own spin on Christian doctrine. You got it. You trying to make your own way to heaven. And they were building the tower. And he was going out there looking at it every day. How big it was, how magnificent it was. My kingdom, see, that individualism marks the spirit of Nimrod. That when you get so built up in yourself, matter of fact, if you're preaching and somebody tell you, I enjoyed the word, you can't take credit for it. It was God that gave you the word. If you got healed in the service, you can't really thank the person. You got to thank God for using the person to convey the healing. If I get so caught up in me, the results will be disastrous. I can't build a kingdom for myself. This is God's kingdom. And he was trying to make his own way unto God. You can't make your own way to God. You hear these people, I love the Lord with all my soul and all my heart. Well, where do you go to church at? I don't have a church that I go to. Trying to make your own way to God. I just go out and visit some people, and I go here and I go there, but I love the Lord. I met somebody like that. I said, you need a stable home. You need to be up under a pastor. You don't need to be just, I go to everybody's church. I go all over here to these people's church. I just listen to everybody. You can't listen to everybody. You need somebody that's going to speak to your spirit. You need somebody that's going to tell you the truth. Oh, you need that. And I felt sorry for the person because they had gotten so many views from so many people. They were going out down the Kingdom Hall and they were going all over the place. And they were confused in their mind. Yes. But you can make your way unto God. And God punished Nimrod's arrogance and halted the construction. I don't care what they do. And I know you've been in a church and you wondered why does the pastor just let this go on. And these people jumping up and jumping around trying to take over. And they want to be somebody big. They got to be on everybody's committee. They running down folk when they go home. They tearing down folk. And when you see somebody truly anointed, they will go after that person too and tell you they don't need to be on the committee. They want to make all the decisions. But sooner or later, God will halt construction. He will put a stop to it. And we get frustrated. We're doing all we can, praying and fasting. But God will put a halt to that stuff. By condemning, he condemned the human race. He made one speak a language and the other couldn't understand him. And that's what he's trying to get us to see. When God comes down and views our stuff, we better make sure that everything is right. We better make sure when he comes on the clouds and inspect our work, that we're not living in Babylon, but we're in the right place spiritually. I can see it. He said every eye is going to see him, even the one who pierced him in the side. This scripture back here has implications, because when he comes and every eye beholds him, Jesus said one or two are going to be grinding and one's going to be taken up and the other's going to be left behind. We better get our business straight. What's the worst that can happen? I can be left here to go through 7 years of tribulation. I can be left here to fight my way through. I can be left here to become a martyr. I can be left here just continuing my own way. But what's the worst that can happen? I can meet that fire and brimstone. After the judgment, the book will be pulled out. I can meet my destruction. Live how I want to live. Do what I want to do. But what's the worst that can happen? If I live a life that God can use, if I live for Jesus, for my God I live, my God I die, I'm going to testify up on the highest point. I'm going to testify from the highest mountain. I'm going to testify. I'm going to testify the goodness of Jesus. And when he calls my name, when he calls my name, I'll be there. Waving a hand. Waving a hand. The Tower of Babel.
Yes, Lord.
What do we want left on our appetite? Nimrod, appetite red, his prey was a man.
Yes, Lord.
What do we want it to read about us? Do we want to read that, or do we want to read that they loved God?
Yes, yes.
That they loved him?
Yes.
That they went after him? That their name is found in the book of life? When the book is open,
Yes.
I want my name to be there. Let us stand all over there.
Yes, yes.
I want my name to be there. My name. What's the worst that can happen if I give up everything?
Yes.
I can put myself in